Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another segment of Weather Plus by Billie. Today's date, January 30, 2023. New. This is my third YouTube channel. I have a subscribe button in the lower right corner of my screen. Thanks for like, subscribe, and share on YouTube and Rumble. Winter, ice in Texas, sun and space energy, and spring. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Suspicious Observers, Ryan Hall, Y'all, DW Weather, Fox and New York Post, plus Israeli News Live, Paul Begley's interview of Mike from Around the World, Amanda Grace, an older interview being brought forward now on Rumor Mill of Dr. Michael Salla and Scott McKay. So let's get started. Okay, apparently what we're going to be seeing this week in the U.S. are colder temperatures than we've been experiencing, an extreme change in our weather. I submit this is due to changes in space impacting the Earth and changes on the sun and impacting Earth. So we'll get to it. Okay. So we have Florida, we've got Texas, Mexico, coming over to California. Okay. So what's being predicted is an Arctic blast or front coming down, impacting the U.S. all this week. This will be about January 30 to about February 5. In this upper part, we're going to have snow, ice, and then it's going to come down even into Texas as low as Austin, Texas, and we will have ice. No snow, but ice. Okay. So in this part, we can anticipate 30 degrees below average temperatures from Montana to Kansas, in the teens and single digits, and at night from Iowa all to Michigan, below freezing, and this will be true for about 20 million people in 15 states. And then Ryan Hall, y'all, he lives in Texas too, I believe, is saying, yes, in Texas we're going to have maybe some snow in this area, but ice in mid-Texas as low as Austin, Texas. So, yeah, this is a heads up. Okay, I have a Patriot subscriber from South Africa. He's talking about the government and economy collapsing in South Africa. And even their power grid is down. I submit the problems with the power grid could be from space and the sun. And yes, and she's saying, you know, the government is corrupt. Yes, we the American people, we can relate to that. Okay, we have this. From Fox News, Arctic blast, 20 degrees Fahrenheit or a -7 degrees Celsius below normal. Wind chill below 0 degrees Fahrenheit or a -18 degrees Celsius. Frostbite can occur in as little as 10 minutes. Frostbite, your skin freezes, and sometimes you have to have fingers even removed because they've become lifeless. And this is for this week. Okay. So we have this. We have Suspicious Observers. It's a science-based space weather site talking about the sun. And we have new sunspots. And I'm putting forth that these are combining with space energy coming in. Now, Ben Davidson is saying on Jupiter, we will have rapid changes with temperature spikes. Yeah. And he's also saying on Earth, the earthquakes, we can see precursors that's being documented now. Signals from the Earth's electromagnetic field. I know when I was in college in the 90s that I studied this. There was no material. It was just being put forth as a theory, but now there's data to support that. Okay. And he's saying the data is coming forth that this earthquake phenomena having precursor with the Earth's electromagnetic field is also true on the moon and Mars. So yeah, that's going on. And now we have this. France 24 English. I'm bringing this out. This is like something a God that like pokes me and says, you need to bring this out. Okay. So, in Western Australia, a mining company, T.O. Reno, now I'll put the story out the way they're reporting it, then I'll give my analysis, is saying they've lost a radioactive device that they use in mining, their mining operations, or locating mining ores. Okay. So they're saying they lost this little thing, and it's very small, 6 by 8 millimeters, which for us would be inches. It contains cesium-137. Oh, and it's no more harmful to you than 10 X-rays. But if you are 5 meters or about 6 or 7 feet from it, you can be affected. Now, this is their story. They were traveling across the desert. Oh, and it fell off of their truck. Okay, fell off of their truck. Let me tell you something. Anything that contains a molecule of radioactive material globally, all countries, has very strict regulations. And when you transport it, how you pack it, what kind, you would be putting this type radioactive material in something that was lead covered, so it wouldn't be irradiating the employees who were handling it. It would not fall off of a truck. Now, they have hundreds or even thousands of people out looking for this in this Western Australia area. So, do we believe, number one, this story's not credible, but number two, they have thousands of people looking for this little thing that they say, oh, it's not going to hurt you. It's no more than being exposed to 10 X-rays. I submit to you, they've lost something radioactive. So if in Western Australia, or if you come across some kind of unusual object, don't get close to it and contact the local police, I would say. But yeah, I think we'll be hearing more about this story. All right, so we have Israeli News Live, Stephen Ben-Nun, formerly with the CIA, now has a ministry, and regularly gets updates from the Pentagon talking about the sun and waves of energy coming from space. Now, we've been hearing about these waves of energy coming in from Mike from around the world on the Thursday night Paul Begley show. We believe Mike works for the NSA. Mike knows stuff. Talking about waves of energy coming in. He's been doing this for about 8 or 9 years. Well, the energy waves are here, and we're calling it something like a Planet X coming in and impacting not just Earth, but our whole solar system. Okay, now, the Pentagon on January 29, yeah, they're putting forth this, that solar energy follows magnetic lines. That's known. Now, this is new information. So, in the first week of February, we're going to be having different types of wave or energy impacting the Earth. And this is the probability that the electrical grid will be affected, satellites will be affected, the FAA, commercial flights will be affected, plus. Now, the Pentagon is putting forth a possible probability that during the first week in February, when all of this energy is coming from space, that might be the time that NATO experiments with different weapons against Russia. So yeah, that's coming. So we see our weather is being affected. We can anticipate. We've been having this unusually warm weather in the U.S. Now this Arctic blast is coming in suddenly. I keep up with the weather and what the predictions are. This is a change. I submit it relates to this energy coming in from space. So now is a good time to prep and pray. Okay. We have Amanda Grace, a prophet of God, coming out with some information because God sees everything. All right, so he's talking about in the Congress, we have the Senate and we have the House, and there was a joint meeting of 4 people. And what they were planning was how to scare the American people, put out all this bad economic information. Oh, and if you have chickens, you might want to let them free range. And when you do, and take them off of the commercial feed, you might see that they begin to lay eggs again. Okay. So these 4 individuals, supposedly elected by the American people, but we, the people who are awake, understand, it just takes a lot of money to pay the counters. Okay, they were talking about how to have a scary event for the American people, destroy the economy, bring in a new bioweapon like 2020, we saw the sea. All right. And this God gave to Amanda Grace. They're going to try and use sorcery. Well, we know a lot of them don't worship God. All right. So God says, one is from New York, and one is from Texas, and one is from Michigan, and one is from California. And God says, as he did in the Old Testament, choose you this day which way you're going to go, to life or death. And God, always advocates choosing life. So yeah. Now, God says, in America, in the spring, our deserts are going to bloom. So we need to, place our faith in God. He knows what's going on. Okay. So that's, if you're still listening to the mainstream media on TV and believing what you're hearing, Okay, now this is being brought forward. It was an interview with Scott McKay. and Dr. Michael Sala. But this happened in 2021. Now, since I became a news analyst in 2020, I see patterns and I give God the credit. So it appears to me that both sides, the white hats and the black hats, orchestrate news releases. So I have seen this pattern of older news items being put forward. So, and this one is talking about what's going to happen in March or April. And in 2021, I was talking about President Trump coming back and being inaugurated. I submit to you it's being brought forward for this March or April of 2023. These things are going on behind the scenes. I'm picking up. So yeah, that's going on. So we can look forward to weather changes definitely this week. And if you're hearing on mainstream media, you know, the economy is going down and we have this problem and that problem. I submit to you also these shootings and beatings are being orchestrated to impact the American people via the propaganda arm, the mainstream media. Yeah, that's going on. But we can take strength and draw strength from God, who definitely is in charge and is on the move. So we pray for America and all nations, peace and prosperity in 2023. I love you, and I'll see you soon.